Hello YouTubers, this is the bearing. Just trying to get my things sorted. Don't need to lift it up here, do I? There we are, that's the bearing to go in, that's for this side. As you can see, the wheel is tilted in again. Bearing has gone on this wheel again, that's the third bearing. Every time I use it for lambing, but there we are. Obviously when the wheel broke off a couple of years ago, it damaged something in there, and that's why it's going all the time. But some other lads have mentioned in some of the comments how it's easier to split the drive shaft with a gizmo. Well, maybe it is, but this is the way I know how to do it. And like I showed you in my other videos, I've ground one of them things there, and I can pull the shaft out by just removing these things, and I can do it in a couple of hours. So I'm going to do it the way I've learned to do it. I'm sure the other ways might well be better, but I've never done it that way, and I'm afraid to damage that shaft, because if you damage that shaft, you're talking 300 or 400 quid for that joint. So there we are. So what we're going to do now is just explain to you. I've got to take quite a lot of two back wheels off. Underneath there's a swing arm. You've got to take that off. And then push the springs as well. Each side are going to come off. It isn't that hard of a job, it looks more of a job. So you get a jack under, lift her in the air, remove all that, like I said, these rubbers, them off each side, and then you can move the axle around. So you push the axle tight up that way then, and hold it up here with some string, and then you can undo these bolts here, push that shaft back, and you'll be able to get it out and pull it straight out. So that's how I've learned to do it. Everybody else has a different way, obviously, but this is what I'm going to do. So as we go through it, I'll show you. The exhaust has to come off as well. So there we are. As I progress, I'll show you how we get on. Well tubes, I hope you can see okay now. I switched back onto my hero session. I've done it in time lapse, so hopefully this will work and show it you a bit better. I've undone them spring hangers at the back, so this is all free. Just got this up underneath the belly. So all the axle is free now. That's took me about 3/4 of an hour, perhaps, if that. Not very long. Exhaust off, held these up tight, it took the springs off, so you can adjust them by just dropping the string up or down, or you could use ratchet straps or something. Got another piece of string here, pull this tight this way against that there, so then there should be enough room to slide this out when I undo these bolts, and just wallop, out it'll come. That's how it should happen. Looking at the hub, see, bearing is knackered, totally destroyed there. So we'll have to see how we get on. Hopefully it's just that bearing, but like I said, with a lot of these things you just don't know. The other chaps had mentioned in my other video I put up many years ago about this, that you can part it here. Now I myself haven't done that. This is the way I've done it a few times now, just through trial and error, and I prefer to do it like this simply. But if you're thinking of doing it like that way, I think you can get some kind of a pullers to do that, but I don't know. there's no room to work there. I just find this easier, to be honest. So as we go on a bit now, I will undo this and put it back on time lapse again, and when we get to some crucial parts I'll chuck this back on my head and show you what's going on. Okay? The crucial stage here now. I've took these bolts out, which you saw me doing there on time lapse. Drop this down, and you can see there's a circlip here now. Hope you can see that okay. So what I'm going to do is take that circlip off, pull that bit off, this shaft, and then this shaft will just pull out. And we can change the bearing then in the wheel without taking anything else apart. So that's what I'll do now. Okay? Well, there we are. I've took that collar off there. It's in exactly the same position as before. Remember I told you I ground out a bit out of that, so this can move a bit more. And then you pull that boot off, and that pulls off. See? And all that is enabled because of that, just because I ground there. Right then, you can see them bearings are seated in there now. That has been a bloody hard job. I haven't filmed it because I was my temper was getting up a bit here. I've had to make a bit of a pullers out of an old bearing like that. That was going against the back of the bearing inside, and then I had a nut on each side and just shimmed this up to get it pulled tight in all the time, but it was a hell of a task to be there. But it's all in, all tidy. So that's in as far as it'll go now. So we're going to go with this. We're going to leave this shit as it is, and maybe even blank off the pipe there, because we can run without one back brake on for now. I know it isn't the right way to do it, but there we are. Bollocks to it. Let's just get this thing moving because lambing started. Right, YouTubers, this is the next morning now. I fitted all that shaft on. Still got to put oil in the top here. Everything went together good. I did have a bit of a job getting that bearing in there, but as I told you before, I made pullers. Where's it gone now? Out of a bit of threaded bar to tighten on here and just pull the bearing in. But that's sorted. I just put a couple of screwdrivers in the back of these springs here, and I'll put the bolts in there now and put the springs back on and the exhaust back on and the wheels back on, and we'll be ready to roll hopefully. So I'll put it back on time lapse now and see if that's any good. Hope you like that. It's quite a quick way of showing you what I'm doing. It's a little bit awkward here. I can't put it back here to have the camera to give you a better view because the sheep are walking in and out of the building all the time. It'll knock my camera down, so it's going to have to be over there again. Okay, so here we go. Let's put it back together and see if it'll work.